Check one, check two. We're going live. And we're live. We are live.
26, Crazy Horse 18, have 5 to 6 individuals with AK-47s. We got RPG. All right, we got a guy with
The voice on the tape, presumably a member of the military, says there has been shooting in the area and receives permission to open fire.
When people are labeled as insurgents, are they really insurgents? It seems to be the case that from the scenes in this video, that any person that is not a man and sometimes not a woman is by default labeled as an insurgent.
Light them all up.
Light them up.
Come on, fire. Hey, Roger. Keep shooting. God damn it, Kyle. All right. I hit him by head.
That's what this whole thing with Julian Assange is about right here.
Bastards. Nice. 26, Crazy.
From a distance, you hear the voices on the tape watch as the wounded.
This is the collateral kill video. Collateral kill video. This is the video that Chelsea Manning leaked to Wikileaks back in, 2010. And it was alleged that Julian Assange somehow, who was a publisher at the time, somehow conspired with Chelsea Manning to hack. And they used to use that word, hack. They hacked the server. Chelsea Manning already had top secret clearance. Chelsea Manning didn't need Julian Assange, some publisher in England, to hack and/or access anything. So the whole notion of Julian Assange, a publisher, publishing classified documents is not unheard of. That's the essence of the Pentagon Papers when the New York Times did it and such. Publishing classified documents by a publisher is not considered illegal. But in this case, it was. And this is the video that, I guess, the straw that broke the camel's back. Julian Assange had reported a lot of things. He also leaked and/or published the DNC records, John Podesta talking back and forth with Hillary Clinton, how they were going to sabotage and/or frame Bernie Sanders as a Russian traitor, right? and on and on and on. When we found out that it was Hillary Clinton and John Podesta colluding with Donna Brazil in the mainstream media, right? There's all kinds of corruption, all kinds of quid pro quo going on. And but nonetheless, today, Julian Assange, after 5 long years in Belmarsh prison in England, try to put yourself in that position. 5 years is a long time. I remember when it started. I remember the days of him standing out on the patio at the Ecuadorian embassy, pumping his fist in the air, telling the world that we're going to be okay, right? Despite all of the war crimes that we're seeing all around us, and the inability to speak. Julian Assange, he was nominated for so many Nobel Peace Prizes every year, and now he served 5 years in jail. It really is. It's really shocking. I mean, I'm still kind of doing what I do, which is make videos on a daily basis, and I've done it for many years. I do wonder, and I have seen when the tide turns against you. Like, for example, when certain factions of the public decide that you're not a nice guy and they want to come after you, and 100 people show up trying to shut you down. I know what that feels like. I also know what it feels like for to be censored by mainstream media, to be censored by YouTube. This channel is very, very hard to find. Right? Not because I suck, not because that I'm endangering anybody. It's just because what I say, I guess, it resonates for a lot of people, and that's that jeopardizes the mainstream, right? When you're speaking counter to the mainstream. So the point is, I know a little bit about what Julian Assange is dealing with. I have not sat in prison for 5 years for releasing a video, but Julian Assange has, and we shall see. He's now free. Julian Assange is. There's no more speculation. Will he be released? Will they shoot down his plane? Will they come running out of the back door at the court in Saipan in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and arrest him, rearrest him again, and hold him in Saipan? None of that materialized. Instead, he boarded a plane from England to Saipan, brief stop in Bangkok to refuel, and then back on to Saipan, where he pleaded guilty. He wasn't even in the he wasn't even on that island for about maybe 2 hours. Got back on the plane and headed to the capital of Sydney. I tell you, one of the biggest heroes in this saga, in my eyes, really is I know it's a little late. It's better late than never, maybe. But the Prime Minister of Australia was really, really instrumental in getting Assange out by communicating with Joe Biden, by putting it, in the forefront of things that need to be done. And not so auspiciously, it is interesting that tonight or tomorrow night there is an American presidential debate against Joe Biden and Donald J. Trump. Now, Trump is on the record. Look, Biden didn't bring the conspiracy, the 17 conspiracies to commit these crimes against Assange. Donald Trump did that. Trump and William Barr escalated the fucking thing, right? And Pompeo wanted to see Julian Assange spend the rest of his life in jail, and they went after Assange. The Trump administration did that. Don't kid yourself. And that was that's profound, because you could say that one of the reasons that Trump was even elected was because of the revelations that Julian Assange released. Remember when Trump said, "I love WikiLeaks. I love WikiLeaks," because WikiLeaks kept dumping all the dirt on the Democratic Party and letting the world see it. And then in that vacuum, Trump became the president. Now, you could say, so is that a fact? It seems like it is a fact. But why would Trump then turn around and try to prosecute and or forget all about and or throw Assange under the bus? Well, that is an open question, and tonight is a political debate. It isn't. I don't think any of this is by coincidence. A day before Julian Assange gets released, there's very, very little in the mainstream media right now. If you sift through it, you can't really find anything about this case. And if you're watching this program, you're, I guess, an astute listener, because the case of Julian Assange has been so whitewashed and so pushed to the background that you don't even know it's happening anymore. So it will be up to Julian Assange. Has not spoke publicly. He spoke with the Prime Minister. You're going to see embraces with his wife and such. But he hasn't made his statement yet, and I'm sure it's coming. If you think Julian Assange is done, you're fucking crazy, right?
Try to crawl to help, but when help arrives...
Come on, let us shoot.
And here they are shooting. Here's some more shooting innocent people, right? So these were Reuters reporters, 2 of them were. And that's what Julian Assange did. That's what he's guilty of. He's guilty of releasing a video so that people can make up their own mind about what happened that day. And it does appear that 11 people were, murdered from the sky, from an Apache helicopter, shot dead, nowhere to run. There's children in that van as well.
You're engaged.
There you go.
Engaged. Clear. Come on. Clear.
Just kill everybody.
Look at that, right through the windshield.
They were having a good time. They're having a good time. Look how many people we killed.
In this video, I think you see the corruption of pilots and the military by war itself, in particular by modern nature of aerial warfare.
That's right. That's right. Julian Assange, the great Julian Assange, is a free man. So here's what it looked like after all that has happened. Let's see. We got this is his brother speaking. Yeah. So here's Assange. Here's some people.
I do want to be at the base of those stairs. I know he's got a.
Let's just fast forward to where he gets off the plane. So there we go.
He collaborated with news organizations all over the world in publishing.
So this is the shot of a plane on the ground in Australia, in Canberra, the capital, I guess, of Sydney. Capital of, I don't know where the fuck it is. Sydney. It's Sydney, Australia.
This is Julian Assange's plane, which has touched down about 20 minutes or so
Let's
ago
watch.
now, I think, at the Fairbairn Defence Base in Canberra, after a flight from the island of Saipan, where he faced a court hearing this morning. That feels so long ago now, where he pleaded guilty to one charge of espionage, bringing to an end in a curious little location in the middle of the Pacific, or the Western Pacific, this saga which has dragged on for so many years. And there we see the first image.
There he is.
Raising his fist.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's home.
There he is. Yeah, welcome home, Julie.
It's a long time coming, boy. Long time coming.
Welcome home. There he is. Oh, wow.
It's a beautiful moment when it happens. They tortured this guy.
And so, Gabriel, what does that raised fist indicate to you about what he's going to be getting up to over the next couple of years?
He's looking good right now. Just don't say anything.
I think I remember being in the court, 4 years ago in the magistrate's court, and watching from the gallery, and Julian was behind these glass panels, and he raised his fist to me when I was watching from the gallery. So, it's a message a message that we've shared throughout this campaign, and I
There's
think
his wife.
It's a signal to everybody who's been fighting this that he's going to keep fighting. So, oh wow, what a moment! Look at that.
That's his wife. That's his father.
And father. After this extraordinary saga, which has dragged on for so long.
It's a real tearjerker, you know?
Longtime friend,
Real tearjerker.
And who's campaigned tirelessly for him over many, many years. How are you feeling now?
The great Julian Assange has entered the building, has returned home, wherever home is, right? Australia wasn't really his home for many, many years, you know?
His father is so happy. And they've, of course, visited him in prison, but it's very different than seeing him stand free on Australian soil.
Yeah.
And we've heard earlier from Gabriel that, there's definitely going to be a push for a pardon.
Yeah, they're going to try to pardon him.
Stella and his father, and
what happened? What happened? Come on, man! Don't fail me
Prime
now.
Minister Anthony.
So I wanna. That's the fact, right? So we saw the kill video, and this is what Julian Assange had to do to get out, right? This is the document. U.S. District Court for the Northern Mariana Islands, right? America, we're everywhere. We're everywhere. The sun never sets on American soil. So this is signed and sealed June 25th, 2024 by the judge there. Defendant Julian Paul Assange was not a United States citizen, did not possess a U.S. security clearance, and did not have authorization to possess, access, or control documents, writings, or notes related to the national defense of the United States. No, he did not. So what? Chelsea Manning, on the other hand. So the point is that the indictment, the felony that Julian Assange has said yes to get his ass out of jail. Any sane person in that position would do it, right? See, we live in a time right now where it used to be you're innocent until proven guilty. Now you're guilty, and we hold you in a little cell because we can, right? And we keep you in that cell for years until you say, yeah, I did it, and then we let you go, right? As long as you say I did it, then we'll let you go after 5 years have passed. See, that's the new democracy. That's the new world order. We keep you in a prison cell, right? And you have no way out, right? So, and then one day somebody knocks on the door and says, you'll get time served, just say you did it. And you jump on it, of course. You just want to get out the door. But so precedence has been set now, right? Because what Julian Assange has said that he did and admits to some sort of crime, right, is now a precedence. This precedence has been set in the media. Now, the United States government can retain anybody at any time and accuse them of, controlled documents, writings, unauthorized access. Right? That's all. Look, what up to this point, everything that Julian Assange did was legal. There's no mention of him trying to, in this document, there's no mention of the government saying that Assange tried to hack the server that Chelsea Manning was having a problem accessing. That was the controversy, that Chelsea Manning got stuck. He couldn't access certain files because he didn't have the password. And allegedly, Assange said, yeah, we'll try your mother's maiden name or try your fucking dog's name or something. He just said, keep trying to access it, right? And for that, that's when the shit hit the fan. But remember, all of this happened before the 2016 election. That was the shit that really, really brought everything to the top. Was that 2016 election where the election swung for Trump. Does Julian Assange have that kind of creed? Did Julian Assange swing the 2016 election? Oh, yeah, he did in part. No doubt about it. In part, Julian Assange's work was able to tell people just how corrupt the Democrats were as they were hatcheting Bernie Sanders. Now, remember, the Democrats not only cheated, but they hatcheted and vilified one of their favorite, candidates. Bernie Sanders was wildly popular. Bernie Sanders was wildly popular in America when the Democrats stuck a knife in his back and called him a Russian spy, right? and fudged the election numbers, right? So, but this is what it looks like. This is what an official document looks like. Now, Julian Assange is a convicted felon for violating the Espionage Act in the United States of America. Will he ever be allowed to fly into free countries on his own? Who knows, right? Who fucking knows? But the precedence here, right? Unless, look, in the hundreds of years, in 100 years that the Espionage Act has been in place, it's never, ever been used for a publisher. That's the point here. What Assange did was nothing any different than any other mainstream media. He just made it nicer. He made it more digestible. He just said, here, public, take a look. Right? Don't ask me what it is. Here's what it is. You decide. Right? Instead of having, fake news spin it, Julian Assange delivered right to the people. That was innovative with WikiLeaks. And you could see why a lot of mainstream media doesn't like him, doesn't respect what he did, because he doesn't operate like they do. Right? So anyway, so there you go. There's the document. It's now signed and sealed. It's official. They did not shoot down Julian Assange's plane. He made it all the way back home. All the conspiracy theories are now off the table. Julian Assange is alive and well. Let's find out. Is he alive and well? Here's the plane coming in. Let's watch again. Let's watch one more time. Yeah, man. Canberra, Australia. And there's his wife embrace. Amazing, right?
Kissed her on the cheek, kissed her on the mouth. Big kisses. Dad.
Tough life he had. Yeah, he got a real tough hand. Yep. So there he is again. There's no doubt about it. It's all official. He's home. Here's a stream from WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks on X. Some imagery coming out. There he is, gazing out the window. A lot of these images we've already seen in the videos. Embracing his, I guess, lawyer. Signing documents. That's while they're still in England. He's getting on the plane to go to get the fuck out of England. Right? It's the last stop in England. Goodbye. Talking to his wife on the phone from the air. And he's got a short tie on. Why didn't they tie his tie? Tie your tie down to down to your belly. There's a lot of other stuff coming. Hold on a second. So we'll talk about the debate in a second.
Albanese has.
So I want to play this. This is the Prime Minister of England.
Saipan.
The Prime Minister of Australia. Right? It's the equivalent of the President of the United States. The Prime Minister of Australia is going to speak on behalf of Assange, or at least tell you what he knows, or what his involvement was.
Tear from her face, I think. We are just replaying these images that have just come through from Fairburn Air Force Base in Canberra. Julian Assange, after 14 years, an extraordinary saga, has just stepped on Australian soil once again, raising his fist, and we saw him embrace his wife Stella and his father. And the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, has just begun a media conference.
Anthony Albanese.
And we might take a listen into that.
Anthony Albanese, that's the guy. That's the Prime Minister of Australia. Awesome. Watch this.
Earlier tonight, but you probably knew this, Julian Assange was reunited.
Yeah, man.
With his family here in Australia. His arrival home ends a long-running legal process. A plea agreement between Mr Assange and the United States Department of Justice was accepted by a US court in Saipan earlier today. I do want to express my appreciation to the United States and the United Kingdom for their efforts in making this possible.
Thanking them for making this possible. They started the whole thing.
As Prime Minister, I have been very clear that regardless of what you think of his activities, Mr Assange's case had dragged on for far too long. I have clearly and consistently, at every opportunity and at every level, advocated for Mr Assange's case to be concluded. I am very pleased that this saga is over. And earlier tonight, I was pleased to speak with Mr Assange to welcome him home and had the opportunity to ask about his health and to have my first discussion with him. His safe return to Australia, we know, means so much to his family. His wife, Stella, his children, who he is looking forward to playing with.
You know, the thing about this is you cannot discount you can't discount what you're seeing right here. You're seeing the Prime Minister of Australia come to bat for a publisher, right? Who exposed war crimes, right? This is big, right? It's pretty big. Again, the overlying problem is the precedence that Julian Assange copping a plea creates, because it says right there in a legal document that I did it and I admit to doing it, right? Regardless of the fact that you're just saying whatever to get the fuck out of jail. Because if you don't say it and you don't sign, you'll sit there for another 5 or 10 years. Who knows? You could sit there for the rest of your life. So Assange, anyone out there saying that Julian Assange did the wrong thing, that he should have held out for publishing, never had said yes to this, doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. Go sit in jail for a day or a week, right? Or an hour, right? And then tell me you'd like to sit there for another 5 years waiting just to be right. No, you get out. You see the door, right? You're like the trapped animal. The second you see the light, right? You burst all your energy out the door and keep fucking running.
Like any dad. And his parents, Christine and John. There are a range of views about the actions of Mr. Assange. The Australian government feels strongly that the proper protection of all national security information is vital for safety. But as I have said, both as Labor leader and as Prime Minister, there was nothing to be gained by the further incarceration of Mr. Assange, and we wanted him brought home.
It draws into question if it lingered on too long. What does long mean? What does it mean to incarcerate someone for a long time for these alleged violations, right? Because if they happen, right, what happens if Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, lands in, I don't know, say Mexico, and Mexico decides or confirms that Netanyahu is a war criminal and throws him in fucking jail for 10 years? Because that can happen too, right? You got to be very, very careful with these laws, right? Would that be a good thing? Is Netanyahu a war criminal? Yeah. Well, by definition he is, but who's defining it? Right?
Tonight, that has happened. We have got this done. I also acknowledge the efforts of the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, my ministerial colleagues, Penny Wong, the Attorney General, and others. Other Australian officials who've worked tirelessly on this case, particularly over the last couple of years. In particular, I want to thank Ambassador Rudd and High Commissioner Stephen Smith, who travelled home to Australia with Mr. Assange. We'll have meetings about AUKUS and other arrangements over coming days as well. They worked with his legal team to facilitate a very smooth journey. This is the culmination of careful, patient and determined advocacy.
It is.
Work that I am very proud of.
Yeah.
It is yet another example of why mature, calibrated and consistent engagement with our partners is the best way to get results in Australia's national interest. Happy to take a couple of questions.
And there are many views about Julian Assange, as you said. Some do not regard him as a hero. Do you think he was a journalist who was wrongfully pursued over what he did?
Oh, look, I think that there will continue to be different views about Julian Assange and his activity. My role as Prime Minister.
So he goes to bat. He goes to bat for the people of Australia. Wonderful, big fucking deal. What else do we have here? We have some other stuff here. So that's really it. Julian Assange. Wait. There's more. Let's see what else. I think there was. Who else spoke? There was other speakers. I can't remember. I didn't write anything down. Who's this guy? Come on, man, give it a minute.
Australian lawyer. Let's take a listen to what they had to say.
The prosecution of Julian Assange is unprecedented. In the 100 years of the Espionage Act, it has never been used by the United States to pursue a publisher, a journalist like Mr. Assange.
That's right.
Mr. Assange revealed truthful, important, and newsworthy information, including revealing that the United States had committed war crimes. And he has suffered tremendously in his fight for free speech, for freedom of the press, and to ensure that the American public and the world community gets truthful and important newsworthy information. We firmly believe that Mr. Assange never should have been charged under the Espionage Act and engaged in...
Nobody, you know what it is too, the United States government always, they say, oh, he endangered the lives of so many people and so many soldiers. But when asked, who did he endanger? Can you bring one single person forward who Julian Assange endangered by releasing a video to the public so that they could see what happened? Could you identify one single human being that was harmed by that? And they could not, because nobody is harmed by that. That's the point of free media, where people see what's happening, right? You could make the argument that Hillary Clinton was harmed by it. Who knows, right? Julian Assange releases documents that show Hillary Clinton and John Podesta in a deep conspiracy to debunk Bernie Sanders, a lawful candidate for the presidency, where they were breaking laws, all kinds of shenanigans going on behind the scenes. You could say that Julian Assange exposed that and caused the rise of Donald Trump. You could say that, but these are wild. These are conspiracies, based on circumstantial evidence. Right? Look, the reality is everything is connected. Right? Assange is important because he revolutionized publishing. He did it in a way that nobody else did. He gave you exactly what you wanted to see. With no spin, right? A very little spin, right? And so again, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Exercise that journalists engage in every day, and we're thankful that they do. It is appropriate, though, for this fight to end, and it is appropriate for the judge, as she did today, to determine that no additional incarceration of Mr. Assange would be fair, would be appropriate, and it is time for him to be reunited with his family.
With the US government, that we've reached this plea deal that enabled him to come home to Australia as a free man. The agreement is that he will spend no more time in prison. The terms of the plea deal are, unfortunately, that he, in order to achieve his freedom and to leave the high security prison in Belmarsh, he had to plead. He had to.
Let's listen to this guy.
To criminally prosecute a journalist or a publisher, and finally today
to come in
a courthouse in Saipan, we had a hearing that brought to a close a prosecution that never should have been brought.
Agree.
Julian Assange has, for so many years, sacrificed for freedom of speech and freedom of the press. He's sacrificed his own freedom. And finally, today, that tragic situation ended, and we are all grateful that Julian is back home in Australia where he belongs, back with Stella, back with his children, reunited with his father. It is unprecedented in the United States to use the Espionage Act to criminally prosecute a journalist or a publisher.
That's right.
It's in the more than
it's never been done. That's never been happened. That's never happened before.
100-year history of that law. It has never been used in this fashion. It is certainly our hope that it will never again be used in this fashion.
It will be. When it's convenient, the United States will use it again.
Julian spent years in Belmarsh. No one should spend a day in prison for giving the public newsworthy and important information.
Yep.
In this case, information that the United States government had committed war crimes, that there were civilian casualties exponentially greater than the United States government had admitted in Iraq and Afghanistan. It was definitely in the public's interest to have this information, and Julian provided it to the public.
Yeah.
He performed a tremendous public service.
That's right.
Not a crime. The problem with the Espionage Act is there is no First Amendment defense in the Espionage Act. It does, by its terms, not matter the reason why.
Because it's a war document. This is what we do in war. They label Julian Assange a war insurgent in many respects, not a publisher. They never recognized him as a publisher and a public figure.
The U.S. for years, the U.S. government has claimed that these publications did great harm. Today in court, the United States government admitted that there is not a single person anywhere that they can produce that was actually harmed by these publications.
There he said it right there. Barry Pollock said, the United States government never produced a single person that could confirm that anybody was harmed by what Julian Assange did right here.
In prison for giving the public newsworthy and important information. In this case, information that the United States government had committed war crimes, that there were civilian casualties exponentially greater than the United States government had admitted in Iraq and Afghanistan. It was definitely in the public's interest to have this information.
Right. So the United States commits war crimes in Iraq and Afghanistan, and the guy who blows the whistle on it is the criminal. Right? That's your justice system, right? Here's a guy. There's an agent, Chelsea Manning, somewhere in the bowels of the military, and Mr. Manning or Miss Manning knows that there's bad corruption. Manning has access to all of the dirt, and Julian Assange says, "Well, give it to me, and I will give it to the people." And for that, that egregious action. Now, Chelsea Manning, in the military, you sign on to say that you will not speak. The consequences of going against the United States government in that position. But again, a publisher is not a military worker like Chelsea Manning, right? I don't know the point I'm trying to make. This is kind of an exhausting talk at this point. I really do think we need to let Julian Assange relax. I don't think it's going to take him too long. After a week or so, when he's back online, he's going to watch some news. He's going to he'll probably watch you know what? Let's talk about what's happening tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, right here in the great United States, Trump signals Trump versus, where's my piece here? Trump versus Joe Biden in a head-to-head fucking debate, right? Now, these debates are very, very rigged in the United States, if you're not sure. Look at the names of the people doing the fucking the anchors of the interview. Fake Tapper and Dana Bash, right? These are two of the most despicable, lying, cheating, pay-for-play commentators out there. Dana Bash and Jake Tapper at CNN, they're clearly in the pocket of the Democrats. They don't like Trump. They don't like Trump's fucking orange hair and face. Right? They just don't like him and never have. So Trump is saying, I can't get a fair shake here. So tomorrow night, Tuesday, 9 p.m., Thursday, 9 p.m., right? They're going to offer on-air fucking analysis at 8. I'm not going to watch that. At 9 p.m. tomorrow night, Thursday, in the great United States of America, down there in Atlanta, Donald Trump and Joe Biden are going to face off in front of each other and drill each other with Dana Bash and Jacob Tapper asking the questions. For 2 hours, we're going to see this, right? No audience. No audience, and Jake Tapper and Dana Bash, I understand, have the ability to cut the mic, right? They have the ability to cut a mic, right? The presidential candidates, they can cut your mic. Why would someone agree to such a fucking interview where someone can, you're talking and someone can just cut your mic? No. Look, I like the idea. I think that what's happened in American politics is that when you put people who disagree with each other together, they all start talking at once. And they're all trying to make that wham, pow, zam, zap moment. They're all trying to get that gotcha moment. Right? And they're just talking over each other. Right? And you can't hear what anybody's saying, especially when there's 6 people on stage. Everybody's talking at once. It looks like a schoolyard. So the idea that 2 people, no audience, right? But you're still giving the throttle to bad people. Dana Bash, Dana fucking Bash, and the other one, Jake Tapper. Right? Those are bad people, but we shall see. Let's see if they can give Trump a fair shake and not sugarcoat it for Biden. What kind of questions are they going to ask Trump? Well, they'll probably ask him about his felonies. Oh, yeah, you're a criminal. Are they going to ask Joe Biden about Hunter Biden? Yeah, they probably will, and because that works to Biden's advantage. Now, the bigger question, I guess the question that's on my mind right now, because we just talked about Julian Assange for the last 45 minutes, will Julian Assange's name be brought into the mix, right? And how will it spin, right? Remember, Trump brought these charges, right, against Julian Assange, right? Whereas Obama refused to do it, and then Biden didn't really do anything. He just let it ride. Right? So Joe Biden let it ride for his entire 4-year presidency, well, 3.5. But Trump initiated it. So can Biden turn around and say, see, you prosecuted a publisher, and we don't do that. We let him go, right? Is Joe Biden going to take credit? Is Joe Biden going to take credit for releasing Julian Assange? Is he going to fucking do that? He may just do that. And why not, right? Who cares, right? For Julian Assange, who cares? You just got to get out of jail, right? Julian Assange is out of jail. So we're gonna see what will Trump and Biden haggle over. Well, if it's good for the American people, it should be about the economy and inflation and such. But they're gonna fight over the bickering, the little things. I don't know. I think Trump is definitely going to confront Biden on his handling of Ukraine. The collapse of Ukraine on his watch, the collapse of Gaza on Joe Biden's watch, the collapse of the southern border on, Joe Biden's watch, so what is Biden going to attack Trump on? Why? Oh, you visited, you went and shook Kim Jong-un's hand. You're a terrorist. You're a tyrant, a tyrant. So anyway, so Trump's camp is definitely concerned about what kind of questions are going to be asked, and we'll see it tomorrow. Let's check the markets before we take off here. And ding, Nasdaq was down. Dow Jones Industrial Average down 143. Nasdaq up $1. S&P 500 down 11. How's Trump's stock doing ahead of the great debate? 35 a share, went down to 22. It's very volatile. Be careful. And it's gone as high as 70. So DJT, a Trump Media and Technology Group, you got to think about it. If one of the candidates is about to secure the presidency, Rivian up 33% this morning to $16. What happened? There must be some good news on Rivian. 31%. What's the news? Rivian stock soars as Volkswagen says it will invest up to $5 billion Wow, there you go. There you go for Rivian. Volkswagen coming in. You see how this is a news play? Rivian, let's see. Rivian is up $16 a share. Look at that, boing. It was 11 yesterday, 11 and change. Now it's 15 and change in one night. That's a good fucking run right there for Rivian. What else is going on? So what we got here? Tesla are up 5. Tesla up 5. Rivian, that's big news. Rivian, a 4-point move on Rivian is fantastic, right? Amazon up, Apple up, Google down a little bit, Nvidia up 90 cents to 127. Bitcoin added $450 to 61,006. Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Boeing, all of the military industrial complex stocks down. Big Pharma industrial complex up, down. Moderna down 10. All right, so what do we got on the markets? Looks like Dow is down, NASDAQ up slightly. So thank you all for joining me. I don't think I said hello to everybody. Thank you, everybody who's been following along here. Zoot Suit Cooter in the house, Champs, Snicklefitz 896 Cheeseburger. George Washington is in the house. Vinny D. Martini is here as well. Weevil Girl is on vacation in Oregon. Who else is here? Invisible Jesus. Good morning, Invisible Jesus. I see you. Mike G75 is here. William R. Hall, great artist from Syracuse. Timothy R. Day. And Facet Pay Fines headquarters is here as well. Looks like he's searching for a topic to stream about. Jimmy Crack Corn. Elizabeth Rivard. How are you, Elizabeth? Long time no see. And who else is here? Who else? IB Cyber. And everybody else is lurking. This is my thumbnail here. Done deal, right? And that's it. That's the headline right there. The great publisher, long overdue, has been sprung from jail. We no longer talk about the atrocities of how Julian Assange is being treated. Now he's a free man in Australia, and we shall see how it spins. Right? How does this case spin? Is Julian Assange going to walk away peacefully into the distance and not say anything? Hell fucking no. He's going to set up a Joe Rogan type setup. Right? He should do that interview too. That should be the first interview he does, and get paid for it too. If Joe Rogan won't pay you $1 million, don't do it. Julian Assange needs the money right now. If CNN wants Julian Assange to, do an exclusive or a 16 minutes exclusive, let them pay for it, right? Fucking Julian, don't take the money, man. Julian Assange, take the money. Take the money. If they want to interview you, take the money and then you speak, right? Because that's how the shit works now, right? You got to get paid, man. You got to get paid. So thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Today's Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thursday, but the great debate is until Thursday night, Trump Biden. So I'll see you tomorrow, and have a great day. Marcus Conte reporting.